of us go to Florida. We don't.
Oh yeah, baby, let's go to Florida, gang.
Minister, when did you first find out that a PRC diplomat was targeting me and my family?
I've learned it through the news.
I've heard your answer. It's
No, but I'm not finished.
Well, why is this diplomat still here? Article 9 of the Vienna Convention is clear. Article 9 says that the government can declare a diplomat persona non grata for no reason. The article is clear. So why is this diplomat still here? A diplomat who has more rights and immunities than the Canadians around this table to go around and conduct his foreign interference threat activities. He has diplomatic immunity. He cannot be criminally prosecuted. We all remember the case of the Russian diplomat who mowed down a Canadian citizen in a drunk driving case and killed her, and Minister Manley was unable to do anything about it. You have given accreditation to a diplomat here who is using his diplomatic immunity to target not just me and my family, but other members of Parliament. So why do you, Minister, continue to allow this diplomat to be accredited in this country on Canadian soil? That is the question, and you haven't answered the question.
Well, let me be able to answer the question. And of course, Michael, I understand your frustration and I understand your anger. So
we haven't expelled a single PRC diplomat.
Can I
check this out? So, it's easy to forget that our country's in a real problem. It's easy to forget that Melanie Joly has a coke habit. I think it's getting in the way of her job, making her very dishonest. But this is the spot, guys. I'm out here. I don't know how the camera's doing. I'm not with the good camera. Got to figure it out. Look. I don't know if you can see it way behind me. There's Canadian Loan. Right out there. Here. There is one out there. Hey gang, what's up? Just Aaron right here at Canadian Looney. So we're just down here on the waterfront and we're gonna have a quick chat about how tough things are in our country. They're real bad. Like, we have ministers that are dishonest, wasting our money. Anyways, one of those ministers is Melanie Joly. We've been kind of going hard at Melanie Joly lately on here, and there's a reason for that. She's got a drug problem, guys. Like, I don't know what you see, but that's what I see. I know people with drug problems. Not with that one, but I've had issues of my own in the past. And, well, that is just what I see. Do a little 360. Whew, it is a gorgeous evening. Little chilly, not gonna lie about that. Anyways, we've got to get into this video. This is Michael Chong's lawyer explaining to the country in front of the Foreign Interference Commission investigation how bad Joly and Trudeau and his rotten cabinet and poor choices for ministers screwed over Michael Chong. That's what it sounds like. So, what are you going to do, right?
Fraser Harland for Michael Chong. I have 3 points today, Commissioner, and limited time, so I'm going to dive right in. First, the PRC's actions against Mr. Chong were foreign interference. Certain witnesses said that Zhao Wei's conduct toward Mr. Chong was normal diplomatic activity. They said there's no evidence of a physical threat to Mr. Chong's relatives in Hong Kong. These efforts to trivialize the PRC's interest in Mr. Chong are not supported by the evidence, and they're not supported, frankly, by common sense. Here's what we do know. We know that the current regime in the PRC has physically and violently suppressed political dissidents, particularly in Hong Kong. We know that in the famous Issues Management Note, CSIS referred to the PRC's conduct as a threat. CSIS determined that Mr. Chong was a PRC target, and that the PRC was also interested in Mr. Chong's relatives in Hong Kong. CSIS intelligence indicated that Zhao Wei was gathering information and sending it not to the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but to China's Ministry of State Security. And we also know that when CSIS finally briefed Mr. Chong on this intelligence in May 2023, Mr. Vigneault did so using a threat reduction measure, a tool that can only be used when CSIS assesses the matter as a threat to the security of Canada. Taking all of this together, Madam Commissioner, I submit that Mr. Chong was clearly the target of foreign interference. The covert collection of information by a diplomat for a foreign intelligence agency is foreign interference and offside the Vienna Convention. And any reasonable person in Mr. Chong's shoes would have had legitimate concerns about the safety of their relatives in Hong Kong. My second point is that the government failed to review or act on intelligence about this foreign interference. Coming into this commission, the story on Mr. Chong revolved around two intelligence products. There was the May 2021 IMU and the July 2021 CSIS intelligence assessment. Well, we now know that there were not two, but at least 5 intelligence products outlining the PRC's foreign interference efforts against Mr. Chong. And they were shared with numerous recipients that include the Clerk of the Privy Council, the NSIA, the Deputy Ministers of Foreign Affairs, National Defense, and Public Safety, and the Minister of Public Safety. In other words, CSIS did its job. It did its job not once, but 5 times. And yet somehow this intelligence was not seen and not acted upon. Not by the NSIA, not by the Minister of Public Safety, not by 3 deputy ministers. And the result? The result was Mr. Chong learned of this intelligence not in 2021 when it was sent by CSIS throughout the government, but in 2023 thanks only to the reporting of the Globe and Mail. And we saw the same pattern at Global Affairs. We now know that CSIS had identified PRC diplomat Zhao Wei as a candidate for expulsion as early as 2019. CSIS then provided intelligence on Zhao Wei's foreign interference activities to Global Affairs in 2021. Yet the Minister of Foreign Affairs only declared Zhao Wei persona non grata in 2023 after reading about him in the Globe and Mail. Minister JOLY admitted that if she had known about this intelligence years earlier, she would have PNG'd him at that time. Ultimately, what's so alarming about all of this is that it is entirely possible that but for the Globe and Mail's reporting, Mr. Chong would still not know about the PRC's foreign interference activities against him. And it's also possible, if not likely, that Zhao Wei would still be acting as an accredited PRC diplomat on Canadian soil. My third point is that the government has too often taken a political, if not partisan, approach to foreign interference. When disinformation in the Buffalo Chronicle concerned the Prime Minister, it was swiftly dealt with by the government. Yet in the next election, when there was a disinformation campaign about Kenny Chiu, the government's approach was to say and to do nothing, and to allow the media ecosystem to, quote, cleanse itself. We learned that a CSIS warrant, one that we expect the Commission has seen targets a senior liberal organizer, sat in Minister Blair's office for almost 2 months. Yet despite hearing from Minister Blair and his Chief of Staff, the public is still waiting for a credible explanation of the delay in approving that warrant. And most recently, we saw the Prime Minister use his access to classified information to launch a partisan attack in his testimony before this Commission. Making that evidence public on the last day of hearings, and therefore preventing participants from asking any other witnesses questions about it, looks more like political grandstanding than taking the work of this Commission seriously. Let me conclude on all 3 points by saying this. In his testimony, Mr. Chong called Canada a playground for foreign interference. My friends for the Attorney General of Canada sought to have witness after witness dispute that statement. But what has Mr. Chong experienced? He has been the victim of PRC foreign interference. The flow of information on intelligence about that foreign interference was an abject and inexcusable failure. When confronted with that failure, Minister Blair and Minister JOLY pointed fingers at their officials. They blamed CSIS. Ministerial responsibility, though, was nowhere to be found. And Mr. Chong has witnessed this government playing politics with foreign interference, rather than treating it with the nonpartisan seriousness that expert after expert this week says it requires, rather than treating it with the special responsibility that the government's own open and accountable government document vests in the Prime Minister. Taken all together, Madam Commissioner, it is no wonder that Mr. Chong would conclude that under this government, Canada has been a foreign interference playground. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's not warm. It's kind of chilly. Say like 6 degrees maybe? Something like that. We'll get home here, fire this video together. We'll try to include the walks a little more. Consider subscribing. I could use some new subscribers. Love my viewers, but there's so many people that watch and they don't subscribe, and I don't know why. We're here, we work hard, this is what we do. Trying to get the word out. I don't really have a side in this, like I don't have a horse in this race or a dog in this race, but I do care about Canadians, and we're getting duped by this government, and the media doesn't really do a very honest job of showing things in context. We do that on this channel. That's it. We're going to wrap up right there. My name's Aaron. This is Canadian Looney. We have a great time hanging out with you guys, learning about Canadian federal politics. We're just about back home, so we're going to get inside and do that. Cut this up. Thank you for watching the video. We'll catch you next time.